up, everybody? Welcome back to Beale Street Bullies. On this episode, I got none other than my guy, my teammate Jeremy Hunt on with me, telling some funny stories, talking Coach Cal, talking Penny, talking about his time growing up as a player in Memphis, some of his favorite restaurants you don't want to miss out. Hey, now, but how was it for you, Hunt, man, growing up in Memphis, man? Like, as a hooper, you know what I mean? Some of the people that you idolized growing up hooping, like what kind of drove you to be so successful as you was as a player?
Man, to be honest, man, I really kind of took out the mindset of just being like my parents worked really hard, you know what I'm saying? So they instilled that hard work already in me. I watched them work hard as, hell, like coming up. And it made me like appreciate their hard work instilled into me. So that's kind of like what it was as soon as I started playing basketball. Like I would go outside every day, like playing basketball, just reenacting people. Like Penny, he from the hometown, like, and that's who I came up. Like, of course Jordan was playing at the time, but like, Penny from the city. So I'm like, man, for him to be doing the things that he was doing at the level he was doing it on, that was who I idolized. I was like, man, I want to be just like him. Like, I used to get all his shoes when I was young. Like, so, I met him when I was young, and it was just one of them things to where it's just like, man, I'm trying to be just like Penny. He from the city, like he made it up out of the city, and he making noise at the highest level. He was one of the best players in the world at the time when he was like wasn't hurt or nothing like that. So,
Yeah. So you go up idolizing probably, like you said, Penny, top players in the league at the time from your hometown. What was it like when Cal come to town and started recruiting you as a high school player? Was it a no-brainer that you was going to Memphis, or did you consider other schools? What was your recruitment like? Because knowing you were one of the top players in the city, how was that?
man, my recruitment was like I started playing AAU basketball late, like 10th grade. I didn't play AAU until 10th grade. So once I started playing AAU, like that's when people really really noticed, like, oh, he can play. Like when Cal came in town, they wasn't recruiting me like heavy. They knew I was like one of the best players in the city, one of the best players in the state, but they really wasn't like killing they wasn't beating down the door for me. Like what ended up happening in that situation was Bob Huggins was the one in Cincinnati who was like on me crazy, like heavy. Um, I remember like it was yesterday. We was at, I think it was the Super Showcase in Orlando, and they had the assistant coach of Cincinnati called Coach LeGee, and he was walking around the gym, and back then Cincinnati had the Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, man, that was getting every Jordan. I'm like, man, I'm probably gonna go to Cincinnati, man. Them folks got them Jordans. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up like committing to Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then like I was working for Coach Dodd, who was over the AAU at the time, and Jermaine Johnson, who was assistant coach at Memphis right now, he called me and he was like, "Man, what you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working for Coach Dodd. I'm trying to make some money." He was like, "Man, they got this camp over here at Memphis, and it's a camp with all like the supposed to be like the best players in Memphis, like just at this camp." He's like, "Man, you need to be over here." He came and picked me up, and we did the count. We did the count, and like what ended up happening was we played against the previous team at the time, and I just killed everybody in front of me. Like I'm in the 11th grade. I'm like in the 11th grade. Like I remember like Larry Brown was there, Coach Cal was there, like upstairs. Like he came downstairs. He stopped the games and he was like, "Hey, somebody take Hunt place." He's like, "Come upstairs with me." So I went upstairs with him, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "What's going on, coach?" He was like, if you tell me right now today that you want to come to Memphis, I'll start recruiting everybody at your class. He probably told you the same thing. Like he's like, I start recruiting everybody at your position in your class, and I was like, man, I'm coming. But it was crazy though because we was at the Peach Jam like a year before that happened, and one of Cal's assistant coaches, Coach Rock, he came up to me. He was like, "Man, you don't even know it, man. You're coming to Memphis. Watch." And they wasn't even recruiting me at the time, but you know, it was a real like I always wanted to play for Memphis. Like since Penny played, I always wanted to represent my hometown. Like in that way, like I literally went on no visits, bro. Like none. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Like now you got people going on all these visits, and I'm like, man, I wonder what would have happened if I would have went on visits.
So how was it though when you finally get to Memphis and you play for Cal? You know, like as we were teammates 2 years after that. But what was it like playing for coach? We both know like it's not easy. He's gonna coach you up and get on your ass, but he gonna love you at the same time. What was it like for you walking the door as a freshman? Like what was your expectation as a player? What you like, which for you and your team?
Man, I really just honestly I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was gonna be harder than high school, but I came in and Antonio Burst was the point guard. Who was a great leader. Like he helped me when I first came in. Showed me the ropes. I was his roommate, so that was the guy that I matched up with in practice. Um, and like you know, coming in, I just didn't know what to expect. Like I played shooting guard but could play point, and then Burst wasn't able to play for suspension. Um, and they brought me in at point guard, and it was just like it was different. It's tough playing point guard because everything falls back on the point guard when things go wrong, and I definitely wasn't used to that. But I got adjusted to it real quick. Being that I'm playing against Burst every day in practice, helped me out a whole lot. You know, it was man, it's like it was a different voice. Like Coach Cal gonna be on you, like you said, but he love you. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna teach you. And like man, when he stopped talking to you, that's when you get nervous. You know what I'm saying? You be like, oh man, he ain't even speaking to me no more. Like, so he kind of like putting you on the shelf. But man, he a great guy, man, great coach. People don't see the things that he do. Like he showed us as like young men, like he helped us grow and growing to be men. Like he was another father figure for us, and like that's the stuff that people don't see.
We'll get back to the show in a minute, but first, let me tell you about our partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook. With March Madness beating the door down, DraftKings the best way for you to get a little action in on the game. If you have not downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app yet, what are you waiting for? It's the safest, it's the most secure, it's reliable, and allows you to safely deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. And this week, they're offering my listeners a pretty sweet deal. If you sign up now with the promo code FIELD68, you can turn $1 into $100 if one of the main event fighters in UFC 259 this weekend lands a single punch. That's it. One punch, turn $1 into $100. And don't worry, if MMA isn't your thing, DraftKings Sportsbook offers odds and promos on basketball, hockey, or whatever sport you are watching. But since they're basically giving away $100, you might as well sign up now. Watch a little UFC and remember to use promo code FIELD68. That's FIELD68. Must be 21 years or older. Offer available for a limited time. Eligibility restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. I like so like for you now being a Memphian and playing at Memphis. I know you played overseas for a ton of years. Now you giving back to the kids in the community, doing like helping kids, like working out, coaching AU, doing your thing like that, man. And like I love it. We talk all the time. And so what's it like for you now seeing Penny as the coach at the university we all went to? How much we supported, man. What's it like for you now watching now? What's your vision? And like where do you see the program going?
Man, I think it was a great hire. At the time, it was great for the city and gave like the city kind of something that they probably been wanting for a long time, like being a player. Like if you ever want to be like a coach or something like that, you always want to go back to the university probably and be like a coach, assistant coach or that. I think it was a good situation. I feel like they going in the right direction, man. It seems like they're playing a lot better now. Being that they're buying into how he wants them to play in the system, So I feel like, man, for me, personally, like I would love to get at that level. I would love to be like assistant under Coach Cal or assistant under Penny or some type of player development coach or something like that. I would love to do that because I got a lot of knowledge for the game, and I know the game. That's why I love doing what I'm doing now with these kids. I'm able to like give these kids like a whole lot of knowledge that's beyond their years. That by the time they get in high school, it's gonna be like they're gonna be on the college level if they continue to listen and continue to get better. So, like that's why I love like having that relationship with Coach Cal, Penny, and all the other coaches that I know around the country that are coaching. Like I'm able to like text those guys or call those guys and talk to them and pick their brain about things that they're doing with their college players. I'm dealing with fifth, sixth, seventh, on up. So it's like just think about it. If I'm telling a fifth grader, what a college coach is telling me that he's doing with his guys, and I start doing it with them. It's like there'll be so much more advanced, and they are advanced right now. It's like it's crazy how like a lot of these kids are like crazy advanced right now. So I always tell them like, man, y'all got it real good because I never had nobody training me at the age of 10 years old or something like that knew what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? We just used to play a lot of basketball, and that's kind of how we all got better. And I think you can contest to that. It's like when you go just play basketball, it's like, you going to mess up, you going to do good. It's like, but you're playing. The repetition of you constantly playing over and over again is going to just help you out. But to be in the gym with somebody that know what they're talking about, getting shots up, shooting, like dribbling, like that's a plus, like for a young age.
So I know you go to some Memphis games. I know last year you always go. I mean, you're a big supporter, man. Like, who's some of the favorite players that you like on the team now? Like, and tell me a little bit why you kind of favorite some of those guys that you watch that play on Memphis team now.
Man, I love Alo, man. I love Alo because he's like that floor general. He does everything. He's a small guard, but he's gonna get in you defensively. I feel like if he like just continue to play with that same energy every possession and that passion, I feel like he's the guy that drives the team. I also love the other guy that came from Evansville. I think his last name Williams, right?
Who's that?
Williams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, DeAndre Williams.
I like him a lot as well because he does everything. Like he rebounds, he scores the ball, he gets everybody involved. Like he also is like the kind of motor of the team. I feel like we got a lot of young guys that are very talented. They can score the ball well. It seems like they're playing together. They're playing like, the right way right now, which is important. You always want to go into March playing your best. That way you give yourself that fair chance to, make a deep run in the NCAA tournament or possibly try to win it. So I feel like right now those are definitely my two favorite players. I love DJ. His upside is crazy. Like his talent, he's very talented. Malcolm Dandridge, he's playing out of his mind right now. He's playing really, really good. Boogie's playing well. Everybody's pretty much doing their part. As long as players just do what they do and not try to do anything else outside of like what the other person does, I feel like everybody will have a little success on the court.
I think them, going into this Sunday against Houston, probably one of the biggest games for them of the season. Like, as a former captain, you were my captain when I got to Memphis. Like, and one of our leaders, what's some advice you would give them going into a big game against Houston, knowing it's kind of like a must-win to help their tournament resume?
Well, the advice I would give them is knowing that the pressure isn't on you. The pressure is more on Houston because they're supposed to be the better team. They're supposed to be the best team in the conference. So, you go in with just no pressure. Like, just go out and play your game and play how you usually play. Don't try to do anything superhero type thing out there just trying to, like, win the game all in one possession. You just got to take it one possession at a time. And like I said, the pressure isn't on you at all. Like, when is that game?
They play Sunday afternoon. This Sunday coming up.
That's like the last game, right?
Yeah, it's the last one in the conference tournament next week.
Yeah, man. I just feel like in situations like that, the pressure don't be on you. Like, I remember back when we was playing when Darius Washington I think he was a freshman, and we was going into the conference tournament, and we was getting ready to play all the teams. Like the first round team we was gonna play, they beat us. Second round team we was gonna play, they beat us. And I remember texting Coach Cal's like, hey, I'm looking at the bracket, and it's looking like we're finna face every team that beat us in the regular season. This is a chance for us to like get some get back, and that's exactly what we did. We ended up going to the championship, conference tournament championship, and lost to Louisville. But it's just like not having no pressure, man. You just gotta go in their game, like knowing like all the pressure is on them. Like they can be beat. I mean, Wichita State showed that Houston can be beat. So they just gotta lock in on and have a good week of practice, and just stay focused on what they do.
We got the Jeremy Hunt crystal ball for the conference tournament. What's your prediction for Memphis in the conference tournament?
Now I think if they continue to play like they've been playing, I feel like they can win the conference tournament. I think they can make a statement and win the conference tournament because, like I said, they've been playing really, really good basketball, and I think the COVID situations pretty much helped them as far as like getting extra practices in, getting prepared better. And I think that helped them a lot. Like it probably helped them come together as a team as well. So I feel like, man, if they keep playing, because I watched that Cincinnati game, outside of the ending part, and they play really, really good basketball, and they just been playing well. Like happy for them, like but I like I said, I just feel like if they keep playing like that, and everybody keep doing their part, I feel like they'll have a chance to win it for sure.
Yeah, I agree, man. I was watching them too, man. I watched them last night, and I'm like, this like you said, the last couple of games, I felt like this is the best they've been offensively in a long time. They struggle scoring the ball a lot, and then now like scoring kind of easily. You know what I mean? A couple more things, like you being from Memphis, I'm gonna run a couple of things by you. You give us your choices, your favorite place to get wings in Memphis outside of you can't count your mom, Pooh. She don't count.
Yeah, moms get down in the kitchen.
Yeah, she throw it down. Her move don't count.
Yeah.
So you gotta pick a chicken wing place, go get some wings. I'm in the mood for some wings, man. If you got one spot to go to in Memphis, where you headed?
Man, I gotta rock with my boy Lafayette, man.
Yeah.
I gotta rock with my boy Lafayette at Change, man.
Yeah, man, change definitely a must, man. Them seasoned wings, something different over there, man. What about soul food? If you're gonna go to soul food, where you going?
Man, you just said I can't count moms. Oh, soul food. Man, I probably had to say Stings in South Memphis.
That's a good place.
Yeah.
That's a good place. And lastly, man, give me one of your funniest Coach Cal stories. And give us one of your funniest Coach Cal stories.
Man, bruh. Let me see. We got so many. Coach Cal, boy.
I'm gonna let you think, right? But I'm gonna give you one. I think my freshman year, your junior year, when Joey and all them guys are running on campus shooting up dudes with the BB guns.
Oh my goodness!
And you was just in the car.
So this is
on the little handheld game.
This is how it went. So at first,
they came
in Chan's truck at first. So we riding around campus, and I'm on the little PSP. I'm really not even paying attention. I'm just pulling my head up every now and then. I'm riding, and I hear like some like little paintball gunshots. I look up, and Joey is pointing like he just shooting at the like Richardson Towers. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? I'm like, what is this man doing? So we ride around, and then like we go change cars. We go get in a little Trav car because they were gonna notice Chan's car. He had a Range Rover. We go get in this little bitty Nissan that Trav is driving, and same thing. I'm in the back seat playing PSP, and boom, he gets out of the car. This big 6'8" man. White beater shirt with a mask on and some long pants. shooting a paintball gun and somebody running. So instantly my mindset go to police. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, bro, we got to go straight to the gym. Let's just go to the gym. As soon as we got to the railroad tracks, man, them folks like pulled up, and of course, Coach Cal calls me, like going off on me. Like, what the F are you doing? Like, you should know better than that. You're the oldest player. I'm like, Coach, I'm playing PSP in the back seat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, bro, you know the first name they're gonna say. And like, I was like, and that was that year that I was finna get back on the team. And he was just like, man, what were you thinking? Like all this. Meanwhile, Joey is panicking because just a week before they kicked James White off a Florida team for the same thing. So he didn't undid the paintball thing. He got smoke all in the car. Like he panicked and was like, oh my God, they gonna kick me out. Yo, I'm done. And it was just like, it was just crazy, man. And I was just like, man, of course he gonna call me and get on me. And yeah, man, it was crazy, but
I remember DK had called me, said, you guys got to, where's your teammates have to run cameras? The cameras police are talking to them. I remember we pulled up, you guys were like by Wilder Tower.
Yep.
The cops were talking to everybody. All I remember is you in the back seat with the PSP with your head down, like playing the game.
Because I'm thinking, like, I ain't get in trouble for this.
The cops said, what you do? Cops said, what you do? He said, man, I ain't do nothing.
I told them folks, man, tell them folks the truth. Tell them folks the truth. Man.
Hey, man. Hey, Hunt, thank you, man. I appreciate you jumping on. You know you my guy always, man. I appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me.
All right, my guy. Holla at you.
Okay, bro.
Later.